Nisambula Vinaka, and welcome to Speak Your Mind. It's great to be back again after a short break. This was for 22 days, and of course, because of the coverage of the Olympic Games live on FBC TV, and this was so we could enjoy it. The spectacular Olympic Games in Rio and our historical gold medal win by our Sevens heroes coached by Penny Rayani. Now, to the more serious matters, cancer is the third leading cause of death in Fiji. So our guests in the studio today are here to talk to us about Bushels, Fiji's biggest morning tea, and the World Cancer Declaration. So thank you so much for being here with us today. And we've got Belinda Chan, who is the manager of the Fiji Cancer Society. A warm welcome to you.
Vinaka Louise.
Vinaka, and we have a volunteer from the Fiji Cancer Society, Salome Nainotha. Thank you also for coming by.
Thank you, Louise.
Okay, so we might as well start if you could please give us a brief history on the Bushels, Fiji's biggest morning tea, and what it involves.
Okay, the Bushels, Fiji's biggest morning tea, commenced in 2006. So we now are into our 10th year with Motibai. The purpose of this was to raise awareness over that cup of tea and get people talking about the implications or impact cancer has on them. And since then, the event has been a good awareness tool for Fiji Cancer Society.
Thanks very much, Belinda. Now, so it has been 10 years now. How successful has the Fiji's biggest morning tea been since it first started?
Very successful, Louise. And funds that have been raised from 2006 initially was earmarked for a hospice. However, over the years, we have had our ups and downs like all NGOs do. Mm-hmm. Last year, the board and the trustees of the Cancer Society decided to redirect the focus of the society. So this year, we're focusing mainly on awareness and screening programs.
Okay.
And work closely with the Ministry of Health.
Okay. So when we have these Fiji's biggest morning tea, so it's like happening all at once where companies organize or host breakfast. How does it work?
Okay, what normally happens is that there's a period for the morning tea. So launched on the 15th of July.
Okay.
It will end on the 30th of September.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is we've got a team led by Tale Osborne who's been emailing all our corporates, inviting them to host a morning tea. In it, there is a brief about the morning tea as well as a registration form for which we want organizations are encouraged to complete and email back to Tale, who will then follow up with a phone call and get them to and assist them in organizing their morning tea, scheduling survivors or FCS personnel or clinicians to talk about cancer at their morning tea. So that's basically what happens with the morning tea. It's not all at once. It's all coming in slowly, but we'd like to encourage business houses to take this opportunity to do something, some form of social responsibility towards cancer. I am sure that everyone out there knows of someone who has passed on with cancer, someone who is currently dealing with cancer. So in our own way, we have been touched by cancer, be it a family member or a work colleague. So this is our way of giving back to the community through the Fiji Cancer Society and by more importantly, hosting this morning tea.
That's right, Belinda. I mean, a terrible illness indeed, cancer. It's very painful, and I'm sure that patients need all the support they can get. So if you had a company that would like to be a part of this biggest morning tea, what are they to do to get the form?
Email Tale at events@fijicancer.com.fj or call us on 3324960 and Tale and Marianne will be happy to help you.
Okay, so that's really good. Okay, so with money, you know how you raise funds. It's up to you how much money you want to donate during the biggest morning breakfast.
That's correct.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Belinda, for that. And I really do urge everyone to be a part of this, like you said, the business houses. But we must talk to our friend here, Salote Nainotha. You might like to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Louise. My name is Sannomiya Nainotha. I'm 35 years old. I have three girls, three children. I'm originally from Lasi village, Singatoka, Nandronga.
Naka.
I am a breast cancer survivor, and I'm currently volunteering with Fiji Cancer Society.
Oh, that's great. So how long have you been doing this work with the Fiji Cancer Society?
Thank you, Louise. With Fiji Cancer Society, I just started. I'm going on to my second month now.
Okay.
2 months because I was because of chemotherapy that I was the treatment that I was going through.
I see.
Yes. So after the treatment, I was thankful to Belinda. She took me on board. I would like to become a volunteer for Fiji Cancer Society.
Well, that's very nice to know, Salome. So, I mean, it can't be an easy road. And what would be your message to women out, for women and men, of course? Because everyone gets cancer. It doesn't leave anyone out, even children.
Yes. Thank you, Louise. My message to women and men out there is because I want to break the idea that if a breast is removed, the woman suffers a lot of femininity. Rather than a negative, it should be rejoiced as a matter of courage and determination. There is strength in numbers and a reason to feel alone because their organization out there are willing to help, like the Fiji Cancer Society, and with people who are coping with cancer. So my message will be just listen to your heart because you will never go wrong. Yeah?
And how do you remain so strong during your ordeal?
Okay. With me, Louise, I was diagnosed back in 2012 when I noticed a lump on my left breast.
Okay.
So when I went to the hospital, I was after some tests and scans, I was told that I have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So the doctors advised that it was best for a mastectomy to be done. So I had my breast removed 2012. I went through the cycle, the chemotherapy cycle. It was a 4 cycle, but unfortunately I completed only 2 because I felt my body was giving up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but we'll get back with more on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. This is your only classic hits radio station in Fiji. Thank you a lot for your company. We'll be back soon. We're back on Speak Your Mind, only the classic hits. This is Gold FM. And just thank you a lot for your company as we have our guest in the studio today. This is the manager for Fiji Cancer Society, Belinda Chan, and also the volunteer of the Fiji Cancer Society, Salome Nainotha, who has been sharing her honest experience of how she is suffering or was suffering, because now you're going through all that. So the treatment, like you said, it was getting a bit much, so you had to just take a break. So how is the treatment for sufferers of breast cancer?
Okay, with me, it was since my body was giving up, I stopped. I stopped going back to the hospital, and I felt that I was okay. So. But I continued with the tamoxifen, the tablets that we've been given by my doctor to continue for the next 5 years.
Okay.
Yes. Unfortunately, after I conceived to my third child in 2014, I was given an option to choose between my unborn child and myself because she brought bad hormone.
Okay.
Yeah. And with that, it was quite a gamble but I chose to keep my unborn child. I kept to keep my unborn child because at that stage I was 6 months pregnant, and the child was formed and the baby was moving. It was really hard to give the thumbs up to the doctor for termination of pregnancy.
Of course, for
So,
any mother.
yes.
That was a great decision.
Yes.
Really proud of you for that.
So I chose to keep baby, and if anything happens after that, that was my decision.
Yes.
But I never lost hope. I knew that something good was ahead. So I delivered her. It was a normal delivery. I gave birth to it was a baby girl. And when baby was 4 months old, I started to get sick again.
Okay.
So I started to get sick. My health deteriorated, and only to be confirmed by the doctors that it has spread on to my right breast.
Oh,
It has
dear.
gone to the right breast. So I had to go through another clinic checkups, and confirmed by the doctors that the biopsy was positive. So I had to go through another mastectomy. So my right now I'm a bilateral. Both my breasts are removed.
Okay.
So I had to go through that with another 4 cycle of chemotherapy to actually get to kill the cancer cells. And I'm glad that I have completed. I managed to complete that 4 cycle with all the. I felt that I was giving up, but with the thought of my children, that I had to be strong for them, to look after them and my family, I kept going. And that is where I am right now. I've completed my 4 cycle. I'm on tamoxifen again. I don't have any more complications like I used to have before. Shortness of breath, couldn't walk anymore, couldn't carry my little baby.
Oh, dear.
I'm able to do that now.
Oh, well,
So I'm back on my feet. I'm volunteering for Fiji Cancer Society, and I'm just looking forward to going out there and empowering women. I know there are a lot of women out there who
Going through the same
going through
thing
the
as
same.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to challenge them today that this is not the end of the life. This is not the end of the world. Get up, go to the hospital, get checked. And it's best for each woman to get checked regularly, to get them checked, because early detection.
Yes.
Early detection is very important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll talk to Belinda now. Like we've said, early detection. What would you like to share about early detection? What Fiji Cancer Society is doing?
Well, through by early detection, all we want is we want to encourage women, mainly women, to go to the hospital or go to the nearest clinic if they feel something unusual in their body, a lump in their breast or under their arm, or unusual bleeding, vaginal discharge, which is not considered normal to them. So if they find anything unusual with their body, so it's really important for women to know what their body is, how their body functions, and if there is a slight difference or slight change in their body, we'd like them to go to the nearest health center, ask them to give a referral to the oncology unit
Okay.
at CWM Hospital, or a referral to the Lautoka Oncology Unit, likewise Lambasa Oncology Unit, and then they'll be seen at those 3 units.
I see.
If it's a bit difficult for them, come across to the Cancer Society. We're located at 333 Waimanu Road,
Right.
which is directly across the road from the maternity hospital, behind the diabetic center. We will give you a referral letter, and you can go directly to the oncology unit.
Okay, well, that's very nice to know. So detection, that is what is the main thing, early detection, and like you've said, to go to the oncology part of the hospital. And I'm sure you can get this done at the local health centers as well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. So, I mean, cancer affects almost every part of the body. I mean, there's, they've got the different colors for the different cancers. There's so many. That's why I'm wearing the rainbow shirt today to mark it. But yes, I mean, So early detection, very important. And what are you planning to do with the funds raised through this year's biggest morning tea? Again?
Again, okay, the funds raised from these morning teas will actually help us roll out our awareness and screening programs.
Okay.
Screening programs will be done in collaboration with the oncology unit at CWM, as well as the National Wellness Center for Women. So we want to roll out the screening programs not only in Suva, limited to Suva, but we want to take it out to the west and to Vanua level.
Okay. And I believe you even actually approach people to get screening done.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Right now, we want to target the garment factories. The reason being is that it's their hours of work, which is six days a week. Some of them don't have, their lunch hour breaks are probably just half an hour, so they don't have enough time to come to the hospital.
Exactly.
So if we go to these garment factories, we're able to pick 4 or 5 abnormalities. They're referred directly to the oncology unit. We liaise directly with the HR department to ensure that these ladies do go for their checkups. At the same time, not only do we want to screen women, we want to screen men as well, because men are also known to get breast cancer.
Exactly. So, I mean, we've got Salome here who has been through treatment. And just from you, what would you like to say to people to, I mean, encourage them to seek help?
Thank you, Louise. With me, I'd like to, because when I was diagnosed, when my cancer reoccurred last year, I had this thought of, I don't want to go back to the hospital.
Right.
Because I have given up already.
Because it's not easy. You go through a lot of pain.
Yes.
Yes.
And the pain was unbearable. I was bedridden, and I decided to go for herbal medicine treatment.
Okay.
Because I had families and relatives who came in and said, "Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? It will help." But after taking that and after a bit of herbal treatment, my health was not getting any better. It was just not getting any better. That's when the turning point came, that I had to stand up and go back to the hospital, because the herbal medicine that I was taking was not helping me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look at you now.
Yes.
Yes.
So I stood up, I went back to the hospital, and I was greeted with open arms from the doctors and the nurses. And with that, I'd like to show my gratitude to my doctor, Dr. Chosese Turangava, who operated on me. And after the operation, after the consultation, after the treatment, I am up on my feet again, and I'm just like a normal person again.
That's fantastic. I mean, what is your inspiration to be so strong like this?
The greatest inspiration to me, it was my children. It was my children.
Keep you going.
My children were the ones who were there for me, who were whispering to me when I was lying down in bed and saying, "Mom, you gotta get up and fight this battle. You'll have to think of us. You're not going now." Because when I was bedridden, there were a lot of, I kept reminding my children of the teachings, and there were almost goodbyes every day. Yes, it was, and they kept asking me, are you going to go soon? Yes, but with the words of encouragement and whispers in my ears, they said, "Mom, you can do it. You can't go now. You have to think of us." So that's when I stood up and I said, "Yes, I will do it. I will with the words of encouragement, I will stand up and do something about it." So my kids are most probably the happiest right now to see me up on my feet, doing the normal chores that I normally do.
Yes.
Washing the clothes, dishes, cooking for them again, getting them prepared for school. Those were my inspiration, my children.
Thank you. I mean, that is so touching because I couldn't imagine myself in your situation. And I thank you so much for sharing that with us and just showing that how strong you can be.
Yes.
Okay, so Belinda, maybe there's something that you'd like to add on? Okay, so right, you've spoken about how the Fiji Cancer Society is now concentrating on screening. So you've put in all your funds into this to get as many people to get screened as well. But of course, you work with the Ministry of Health to create awareness for people to recognize the signs and symptoms of cancer, I'm sure.
That's correct, Louise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
Well, we've been fortunate. I mean, over the last few months, we've been fortunate to cement a great working relationship with the ministry and more in particularly the oncology unit. So they've been very helpful with in assisting us with our screening programs and awareness both. But all we do is just facilitate. Call up the organizations and see if they are interested, and then we facilitate the service, which is of no cost to the organization.
Okay, so like you do your screening, and how do you get as many people as you can to get screened?
Well, if it's within an organization, we go directly with the HR department. So, like I said previously, we'd like to work closely with garment factories because of the numbers.
Yeah.
So we encourage the organization to make available to us all the female employees. So it's not only done in one day, it's done over a period of days during the month, which may also go into the following month. But we work around the organization's schedule, and at times, I know with the last awareness and screening we did, we were there all day. So it could take us just one day of the week, but for the next, over a period of time. So you can have one day during the week, over 4 weeks in the month.
Okay, Belinda, thank you so much. We'll be back soon on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. We've got a caller who would like to share something with us, and this is in Suva. Bulavinaka?
Bulavinaka.
Okay, I'm sure you have something that you'd like to share with us. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes, I want to thank the lady who you were just speaking to with regards to the screening for cancer. I had a little experience, it's not really my own, but this is with regard to employers, not regarding cancer. I was hospitalized how many months ago, and there was another lady hospitalized there from a garment factory. She was so sick, the boss would not let her go, and he'd tell her to go back to work, and she just nearly collapsed before they let her go. And I just want to mention this, that obviously somebody's not doing their homework in terms of what the how they treat employees and everything. But I hope sincerely that they have good luck with the employers in terms of getting them to let the workers get out and get screening. Because it scares me to think how sick a person might have to be before they could even be allowed to go out and see a doctor. We don't want to see anybody get passed by with that testing. So I just wanted to mention this. I got the impression from this lady that they're very difficult with letting them get out to get medical treatment or get testing. So I just wanted to mention that.
Well, we thank you very much for your input, and I'm sure Belinda will be happy to hear what our friend has said.
Hi, if you could just call me on 3324960 and we can talk about this, because the garment factories I refer to are the ones that we've been doing screening. So this is interesting, and if you could just call me and then we can try and sort this out.
Thanks very much, Belinda. So, I mean, it's always good to do something like this. So, Yeah, Belinda will get you our friend's number after this so you can follow up on what has been shared. But how do you think we can reduce the death rate of cancer patients in the country, Belinda? Or even Salome will probably have something to say. Because I know for a fact that that is one of the goals, I believe, for the World Cancer Declaration. Is that right?
That's correct, Louise. From our perspective, the Fiji Cancer Society and WOWS, we signed together with the ministry. We signed a World Cancer Declaration towards the end of July. From our perspective as NGOs, our target is numbers 5 and 6, which is more or less reducing the stigma associated with cancer.
Okay, just quickly, when you say stigma associated with cancer, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is that people are still afraid to talk about cancer. Cancer is still a taboo out there in the communities, right from the grassroots level and even in the offices. People don't talk about cancer. Patients with cancer are frowned upon. There is not enough understanding out there that can be provided to cancer patients or cancer survivors. So it is during that journey of theirs that we need people to start talking, asking how best can they help, and not shy away from it, but talk, because it's these little conversations that will make a difference. Someone else will be able to pick up on your points based on your discussion with them, and we'll be able to know, okay, this is something I can do to help someone I know who is living with cancer. I can provide this type of support, be it emotional or financial support. But we need to, as a community, we need to start talking about it, and not isolate people with cancer as a form of leaving them on their own, abandoning them to continue their battle, when it's more of a family, community thing that is required.
Man, thank you, Belinda. I mean, they need the support. The support from family members and the community. And I'm sure that Salome would be able to share with us exactly this predicament. I mean, you know, what you go through, it's a lot of pain, and you need family support. You need love and care. I know, I mean, we don't want to look weak to our family. I mean, but I mean, cancer, I mean, especially when you get to the last stages, is very difficult. So what would you like to say to people who have family members suffering from cancer?
Thank you, Louise. With me, yes, definitely. We need a lot of family support, especially when we are battling cancer.
Okay, man, I really am so sorry, Salome. We've run out of time. We'll be back on that topic soon, right after this on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Gold FM, only the classic hits. A warm welcome to Speak Your Mind. Lovely to be back with you again. Thank you a lot for your company. And we are talking about cancer right now. We need to continue with Salome. So sorry to cut you off, but you know how we were saying about support. Cancer is an awful illness. I mean, I couldn't imagine anything worse, so much pain. What would you like to tell families who have someone in their unit suffering from cancer, Salome?
Thank you, Louise. First of all, with me, it was not an easy journey. It was hard. When my cancer reoccurred last year, my husband walked out on me and my children.
See?
So
terrible.
I think that the main support right now is the husband. Yeah? Yes. When I really needed him the most, he walked out. So I was fortunate to have my daughter, who's 13 years old, who was there to continue the father's role.
And look at that. A 13-year-old child can give you that strength.
And all the credit goes to my children and my parents. She was there, she stood up, she had to care for me because I was bedridden, and also to care for her 4-month-old sister, very little, very small at the time, while we were waiting for my parents to move in and to fill in that gap.
Right.
So it was not an easy journey for me, especially when you needed the very person to support you, to hold your hands and to be there for you, and he was not around. So I would like to tell husbands, fathers who are listening in, family members, parents, to give that support and that love. If a family member is going through, if your wife is going through cancer, please, the only message that I'd like to take across to them, to bring across to them, is be there for them. Give the best support, the love and the care that you can give to them. Because I think it is very important. Only with this support, it will give them the courage, the determination to get up, the strength to continue their duties as mothers, also fathers, for the family. So family support, I would say, it's very important. Unfortunately, I did not get that, but with the support I got from my children and with the support that I had from my parents, my sisters, I am sitting here today, up on my feet,
Smiling.
back to work, smiling. And I'm probably the happiest right now to be called a survivor.
Wonderful. I am so happy for you, Salome. But we do have our friend again on the line who wants to share something in Suva. Hello.
Hello. What I wanted to say was, first of all, my heart goes out to Salome, and I am so happy to hear that she's back on her feet. But I also want to mention, this is more like a taboo subject, I suppose. A friend of mine that I lost a few years ago was going around making it a point to let everybody know, male or female, if you have gender-related type of cancer, do not allow cultural taboo to keep you from going to the doctor because it's embarrassing. You know, some people might... Hello?
Hello, we are still here. Carry on.
Some people might be living in an area where there's only a doctor of the opposite sex, and they might feel too shy to go. That's what happened to my friend, and by the time they went for help, it was way too late. So I'd just like to encourage people. I know sometimes it can be embarrassing for some of us. Don't let it be, because this means your life for you, your family, and everybody. Just that.
Thank you very much for that, and I'm sure that our guests appreciate what you had to say. Yes, and well, I mean, we are coming to an end, and Belinda, just to stress again on how important it is to host the Bushel's Fiji biggest morning tea.
I just want to encourage, well, it's not only limited to corporate organizations, even your little social groups at home, ladies group, fellowship group, youth group. If you want to host this morning tea, you're most welcome to. You can contact us through events, email through events@fijicancer.com.fj, or call on 3324960, talk to Tale or Marianne. They'll be able to help you sort out your morning tea. We also give you a starter pack to help you with your morning tea, and that includes some tea leaves, some tea bags, a tablecloth, an apron, and just an information on how you can host your morning tea. So don't hesitate, contact us, and knowing that the morning tea you will organize will go towards a good cause.
Man, absolutely. I mean, this is what we need. If the community gets together, there'll be more money raised. There's more help that the Fiji Cancer Society, as well as, to be helping cancer survivors as well as people suffering from cancer. So if everyone could get together and do something for a good cause, we'd really appreciate it. I mean, our friend here, Sannomiya, who has been brave enough to share her story, you know, we really love you for that. And I know, Belinda, also that the Motibai group have charity boxes in their shops and restaurants.
That's correct, Louise.
Okay, so be sure to drop in $1, drop in a coin, and let's do this together. Right, Belinda?
That's right.
And Salome? Yes, so I mean, we've talked about everything, what's important. You need to get screened early. And also, I'm sure the Ministry of Health, they probably have awareness programs where you can find out the symptoms, which I think is very important earlier on, or just not even waiting for the symptoms. That's even worse. Just go. Go and get screened.
Go and get screened.
Okay. So anything else before we end our discussion? Anything else you'd like to add on from both of you?
Besides the awareness and screening programs, we also offer patient support, which is in terms of transportation to and from hospital for cancer patients to attend their chemo as well as their medical reviews. That's been activated here in Suva and Lotoka, so I'm hoping that we can roll it out in the north in the next couple of months. We also assist with overseas evacuation, but that's only just passport and visa applications. And this is based on the approval upon application to the ministry for financing, for assistance, medical assistance. So once they get the approval from there, then they can come across to us and we can just give them some money to help them with their passport and visa. And then there's other things like colostomy bags, which we provide to the hospital. And now we're working closely with a lady called Heather Tate out of Sydney, Australia, where she provides breast prosthetics and bras for our mastectomy patients, our breast cancer patients. And that, again, is free of charge. So all they need to do is just go down to the oncology unit at CWM Hospital, see Nurse Rashni, and she'd be able to help you fit with a breast and bra.
Thank you very much. The manager for the Fiji Cancer Society, Belinda Chan, thank you so much for talking to us, and also volunteer of the Fiji Cancer Society, Salome Nainotha. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and I just wish you all the best. And Fiji, please do support this because it's important. And if everyone, each and everyone does their part, we can help our people who are suffering from cancer or who are survivors of cancer. Let's Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Until next week, Nisa Modemanda.